This video was recorded my 8th week at Clover Park Technical College. The first two welds are going to be overhead lap welds, and then after that it's going to be a horizontal T and then a vertical lap weld. I wish I had an actual camera that I was able to put a welding lens on so I could show you guys how the puddle kind of works with 6010. So as you push in the filler rod, you have to whip it out and whip it back in so that as you go out, it gives the puddle enough time to cool, and as you go back in, you're going back over it so that you get those clean stacking dime looks with the 6010. I've only had to use 6013 once, which was different because you did little circle motions. But once I get into more processes like 6011, 6013, 7018, then I'll be able to start telling you guys the differences a little bit better and actually understand it myself. As you'll be able to see, the first overhead lap weld definitely came out better than the second one. The second one, I had the hang of it in the beginning, but I kind of started to lose the consistency and how uniform they were towards the end. I'm still working on overhead and vertical positions, but I have gotten pretty decent at flat and horizontal. I'm still practicing and getting better every day, but as you can see, towards the bottom it was alright, towards the top it just started to lose all the consistency and uniform, and it just didn't look good. This one is a horizontal T-joint. Like I said, I've been getting a little bit better with horizontal and flat positions. Vertical and overhead still a little bit of pain in the ass, but so far, as you'll be able to tell, this one comes out a lot better than the other welds that I've done so far. Everything's a lot more consistent, it's a lot more uniform. It's definitely not perfect, but it's definitely getting a lot better. This was also welded using 65 amps. So my teacher at Clover Park told me that 65 amps is a really good starting point with the 1/8 6010 electrode. So for the most part I stay around 65. There's been a couple times where I've had to turn it up a little bit for doing a couple overhead positions, but other than that I haven't really had a problem keeping it right around 65 the whole time. As you can tell, it definitely came out a lot more uniform and a lot more consistent, which is really good. The next one is a vertical lap weld, and this one will be a vertical up specifically. I struggle with vertical mainly because the pool is more affected by gravity and it kind of tries to pull it down as you're either going up or down, which it's a lot different because it doesn't just do what you want it to do. So as you can tell, there will be some inconsistencies in this one and it's not going to look the best, but I do think that vertical up is a little bit easier for me than going down. Vertical down, I just feel like it's easy to fill in the filler rod, but it's not easy to get the consistency and make everything look good how I want it to. Vertical up, I feel like, is a little easier because if the puddle is starting to get a little bit too big, then you can whip out and come back in and just stack on top of it. When it comes to vertical down, it kind of starts to elongate the puddle and stretch it out, and it throws off the consistency and the shape of the weld. As you can see with this one, the bottom I had under control. Towards the top, the electrode kind of started to go towards the sides rather than work with me and try to fill in the middle. So I still need to work on my vertical up lap welds.